Well, I got my truck back, guys, and I'm not sure what's happening here. It's got like a single spray mark on it, like all over it. Look at that. What is that? It's like a see that? Do you think somebody came up to the truck and sprayed it? Like, I got this back from Tesla. I know it's dirty, but what causes it to be cleaned in a line like that? Same back here. Some weird design back here. Apparently, so I needed a whole new light bar here. And apparently they broke something, so they had to replace this. And I can tell because I got a weird bump here that I've never seen. And then you can see it's still dirty from Moab. The dash is quieter now. Like, it doesn't rattle like it used to. Well, guys, I washed the truck and I got in and I started getting this error that my locking differentials are unable to disengage. I never engage them. Yeah, so now the truck thinks that the rear lockers are engaged, even though I never locked them in. I never went into off-road mode. So, of course, why would it disengage if I've never locked it in? So, let's go ahead and try to engage it and then disengage it. Engage locking differential. Okay. Okay, so now we don't have that error message anymore. Now let's take it out of locking differential. Let's see if it'll disengage and I can go back to my life here. So yeah, this truck starting to become a bit buggy. There we go, dropped out. All right. So that was weird, just a glitch I had after my service appointment. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this red Utah Moab dirt off the front. My light bar on the front now seems to move. Oh, what that is. Now, this is actually the first time I've actually come and look at this, because these seals were really weird after they did the slant rails, and this seal was broken. So let's take a look in there. See, they're really inconsistent. Like, you know, like going past this point here, and then here I got nothing. Just a gap with some glue. Let's open this up. So this seal, that's pretty cheap how it hits this when it comes up. That's not that nice. Not sure what we got going on there. And then here's this seal here too. Look at this one. This one's completely popped up. It looks like this whole piece is slid. I just had them work on this, and I'm not too thrilled with the service they provided this time. Well, guys, it's that time of year I shave my beard. Memorial Day makes me look a little younger. But we're here back with the Cybertruck, which I just had this fixed, and you probably can hear it. That awful high-pitched noise in the back. So let me show you what error messages we have. Oh, all kinds of error messages here. Let me turn this off so I can talk. So we've got all these errors again: emergency braking, adaptive ride control, rear axle, steering disabled, power reduced, high voltage system error detected, low voltage, traction control, stability. Well, guys, there it goes. On the tow truck, second time. Good morning, Mountain Tesla crew. Hey man, we are gonna go have some fun. We're going camping. First time here in a long time. So one of the nice things, I guess, about where I live is I'm already kind of up here camping, if you will, right? You guys know I live up on you know, 35 acres here. But I got my buddy Gizmo, he's already chilling in the back. Brought enough just for one night. We got the rooftop tent and we got the compound bow. So we're gonna do a little practice with the compound bow. I love getting my skills honed in on that. And yeah, I'm excited to take you guys along for the ride and let y'all know what happened to the Cybertruck, let y'all know what happened to me personally in my life. So this is an open range area. We got some cows that are just hanging out on the road. We're definitely past any power lines. So everybody passed out here has solar and propane. Good morning, cows. Little rough part of the road up here. This is kind of fun, guys. So when you're in off-road mode, you're not constantly, but you can switch between the smooth, the rugged, and the clearance. When I get to here, I like to go back to overland. Okay, and I'm really in the same height because I chose that. Overland will let you go higher than Baja, but now you can actually get into your cruise control. There we go. So I can do it in 0.5 miles per hour. And now my foot is off the pedal. If I touch the brake, it'll just slow down. It will not disengage. So now I can just let this truck just kind of crawl up this little bit of four-wheel in here, if you will. You could push this now and you could actually get your larger view, so you can't see over the hood right now, but I can see everything's clear. And you're just controlling the speed on the joystick. Then when things start to smooth out for you, just switch back to Baja and have some fun. Baja mode. You guys ready? This thing just opens up. And here we go. Woo! Holy shit. 80 miles an hour. Woo! It's that. Oh man, it's so exhilarating. So much power. Yeah. That's a great time. Hey guys, we made it to camp. And, you know, the CyberTent mode that you can engage to level the truck. It's not as like robust as you think it might be. Like you're not just gonna be able to pull up wherever you want and be level. But I did find a spot where this didn't say maximum suspension level. When we're green, we're good. Okay. But what I want to show you guys is a trick, because I don't have a CyberTent and I don't like keeping the tonneau open the entire time. So once you get the vehicle leveled out, you can come into your service menu and throw it into jack mode, okay? Now it's not going to change when you exit CyberTent mode. Everything stayed the way it is, see? And now I can actually close my tonneau, whatever I want, right? Now I have access to the normal menu. I'm not locked into CyberTent mode. I like that because Tesla needs to allow a way to close the tonneau and be able to level the truck too. So here's how I had to do it. And you can see, you think you're out here, and like I went back in this little spot, thought that was going to be level. I went into here, it couldn't even level out. So I found, which I think somebody's done this before, was two rocks that were pretty much placed perfectly for the front tires. And I think this looks pretty darn cool. Yeah. So once I got onto those rocks and engaged CyberTent mode, you can see how much more the front is up than the back. Now, why do I like it like this is because I don't want the back way up in the air. I want the front way up in the air because I want to be able to get back here and get to my goodies, right? I'm like towering up here now. Easy access to the bed because it's so low now. Look at that. I mean, here's my leg, right? So you can see this is how I like to set it up. Really easy to get to my tent now, and it is perfectly level. The truck leveled itself, even with those rocks. Drop in the rear like that, made it level. Isn't that cool? So this is one of the awesome things about the Cybertruck. Anybody who would walk up and look at this would be like, how the heck did you do that? How'd you get that much room in the front and then that way down, right? And even leveled left to right slightly. So here's camp. I'm gonna get things set up. Sunshade here. Now that's one disadvantage now, is that this is pretty low. This was gonna be, I'm gonna be hitting my head on this, see? You can see where I'm standing. That's a disadvantage. So I'm a little lower in the back than I would like. It would be nice to just find a level spot. So when this swings out, it's going to be a headbanger because it's only the height of the truck and this continues to incline. So I'm not sure, you know, it's definitely going to be something people are going to have to duck under. But, you know, if it rains or anything, this is going to be a good spot. And I think I'm just gonna have to deal with that lower overhead. And I think it's low enough that you'll know to duck. If it's a little bit higher, it might be one of the things where you just bang your head on it. So I'm gonna get set up and maybe I'll do a little time lapse of it, show you guys how I do this. Nice, guys. Well, we got it all set up. You might have seen the time lapse. Of course, I'll go through and fine tune everything, if you will. But I got my tent up. I've got all my sleeping bags. I got a nice air mattress in there that I've got filled up. Everything's set up here. I'm going to do a little bit of compound bow. I'll have to show you guys my bow. Pretty awesome. I got a gas stove. I got a charcoal. I've also got this thing set up so it's got lights on it so you can see at night. This will be pretty cool, all lit up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off for now. It's just got a switch here. Pretty neat. Got my dog set up. I've got some boiling water. I'm gonna make a little breakfast. I started really early this morning. Gonna do a little biscuits and gravy. And I got some things to wash your hands with and lots of cool utensils. These are really neat. These are like magnetic. And of course I got like spatulas and pans and bowls and all the stuff you need. Really compact. I like all that. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm not sure everybody can make it up here. I'll show you a little bit of the road. You're gonna have to have a four-wheel drive. So I know videos don't do it justice, but even here, I mean, you can see it starts to get pretty gnarly. You probably could get a car, but this is the problem, is you're gonna dip here, you're gonna high center right here because you're gonna have to crawl over this rock. So that's a bad spot, but that's not even the worst of it. So like, yeah, if you hung really high, but dude, see that? That's, yeah, I mean, I'm sliding on it. Look at how, we'll be under a mandatory fire ban after this weekend, unfortunately. And I've got a plug-in cooler. Let me show you a couple things that I do with the Cybertruck since it has so much power on board, right? You guys can do just about anything. I've got a huge solar array that I brought with me in case, just for fun, you know, that will charge up this EcoFlow. It's back there. That's a big solar array. I think it's 200 watts of power. Got something to lay down on the ground if I want, but you know, I've got this cooler, you guys. It's really cool. You can either make it a freezer or a fridge. It's got lights. You can change it to ice cream mode, dual zone. And I don't plug it directly into the truck. I plug it into here with this cigarette lighter adapter. So you can see it's at 99%. And then I have a high 100-watt output, which I'm charging my DJI drone batteries because they like to discharge after a week. But more outlets here. Plenty of power. It tells me 23 watts out, nothing in because the thing's fully charged. The Cybertruck is on. The outlets are on. and I do the jack mode so I can close the tonneau and throw things in here if the weather gets really bad and windy. Got my axe up there if I need it. Give you guys a link, those are really nice. And I have Starlink the entire time. Oh, I'm cooking. Turn this down, starting to boil. Let me see, I'll open this up for you and show you right between the bars and a clear view of the sky. That's all it needs. Pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened to the Cybertruck, right? I know you all have been wondering, Grant, what happened to your Cybertruck? Well, it got towed the first time, which you all saw, right? So I already had an appointment set up for Monday, which it broke down on a Friday or Saturday. I think it was a Friday. And so it got towed down there, and it was just to get the RGB lighting fixed and a couple seals. Just because I'm getting close to my 50,000 mile warranty, I thought, let's get a couple of these little things done, right? Just in case. And what happened is they got the truck delivered from the tow truck, which you guys saw in my last video. It sat there for the weekend, and I guess it dried because we had all that snow. The video I did with it coming down my driveway in the snow was the day before it broke down. So we thought there was a bunch of water in it. And I think they tried spraying it with a hose, and that's where it got all those weird lines. They said they couldn't reproduce it. Said everything's fine. I said, hey guys, please check extra hard. Apparently they said that there was a plug that needed some dielectric grease or something like that. So I got the truck back, drove it home, was fine. Drove it to work the next day, fine. Got in the truck that night, would not start. So then Tesla had my truck for about 2 weeks. And during that time, they deciphered that there was a problem with the rear inverter motor. So you guys maybe have heard there's problems with the rear motor, some sort of inverter that inverts the power or something for the motor. So they put a new motor in it. They decided, well, we could have done just the inverter, but we did a whole new rear motor for you with the new inverter. I'm like, okay, great. Thank you. And then they said there was a firmware issue, that the motor would not link up to the truck and calibrate or whatever. So they thought for sure that because it was a new motor, that the computer was older, wouldn't handle the new firmware or something. So there's a computer somewhere in the left side of this truck. I'm guessing somewhere behind that panel, I don't know. But anyway, they put a new computer in it. Guess what? That didn't fix it either. So they're stumped. They're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And finally, they found a nick in a wire that was going from the rear to the front of the truck. And apparently it wasn't secured properly on the assembly line and had been bouncing and cut a little bit in it or something like that. They said there was some strange tape around it. So maybe they already knew it was nicked. I don't know. That was a kind of a weird comment. But at any rate, it was a communication wire between the front and the rear. And that caused the truck to shut down completely because it could not talk properly to the rear motor. So I got a new rear motor, new rear inverter, and a new cable, and a new computer somewhere on the left side of the rear of the truck, all covered by Tesla. So this is a known issue in these trucks on that rear inverter anyway. So now I have a new one. Okay, so now the truck's finally fixed. It's been awesome. It's been working great. I can tell you that it sounds quieter as well. The rear motor is noticeably quieter than the motor that was in it before. Well, also during this time, I thought, I have to tell you guys what's been going on in my life. Let me sit down for this one. Okay, guys. Well, I want to tell you what's going on in my life. And this is pretty personal. I want to share it with the YouTube community because you guys are awesome. The support and the camaraderie, the culture and everything that's been on this channel, the comments, and I mean, it's just been amazing. That's one of the amazing things I never expected with YouTube. So let's talk about my work first. So during the winter, there was no work, guys. We didn't have a winter. And if it's not cold, things don't break. I'm an HVAC. You guys might have seen my Grant's heating and air stuff. And we had no work. Nobody was calling for anything. was really difficult for us to even stay in business. Well, then my service tech, Chris, he really was over Colorado and wanted to move back to Oklahoma. And he did. And the bills started going upside down. I started going upside down a bit, right? A little behind on the bills. And I had never dove into my credit cards before. I have very deep credit. And I started not being able to pay the statement balances. And that was the first time for me in 10 plus years. So I thought, I better try to find a job. I better try to find something to do. I went to a couple different companies, and one of them just did not work out at all. Another one didn't work out at all. And then I got a hold of one in Fort Collins that's been around for a long time. And we sort of made a deal. And we spoke over a lunch, and it sounded like a great deal. Some cash up front, some cash in the end. And when I bring my customers on, a percentage of that. Well, that was great and all. But then I went to go to work for them. And they thought, I remember sitting down, they were asking, well, what are you good at? And I'm like, I'm good at everything. I'm good at sales. I'm good at install. I'm good at service. I'm good at all of it. Just not HR and a few things I don't want to do, right? But I'm really good at HVAC in general. And they decided they needed me in service. Well, then they put me in a service van and made me a level 3 tech, paying me $36 an hour. And I'm used to making a little over $100 an hour when you average out what I do for myself. And I thought, okay, well, if the money comes in and I start getting my customers over and that percentage, it'll make sense. Well, week 1, 3 days I'm with a lead technician, and I could tell he was kind of agitated. He kind of wasn't treating me, I didn't want to say agitated, but he was just not treating me fairly and nice. He kind of just like, you do it. And I did the first call with him. I did every call thereafter myself with him there talking on the phone to people. So right away I proved to him I don't really need ride along. But unfortunately they didn't really have any procedures and protocols in place. They're way too busy for what they've got going on. They didn't clean up their management. Everyone who works there just kind of has to figure it out. How do I stock my van? I don't know, ask somebody, right? Like, how do I maintenance my van? I don't know, ask somebody. They never gave me a sheet to tell me. I mean, that kind of stuff, like, right? Like, no. They got 20 plus technicians running there, and I was one of them. And I'm cleaning coils, and I'm doing basic maintenance, and I'm doing a few no-cools and some service. And I'm like, why am I doing this for them when I could do this for myself? Well, I got in my own head when Chris left, and I thought, who's going to do my maintenances and my service? Right? Because he did it for the last 4 years. And then I realized week 2, I started panicking. All the phones were ringing off the hook, calling for me. And I'm behind this van, making no money, got my first 2 paychecks. I could barely survive. And I thought I better just go back to work for myself and just do what I can do, right? Just do the maintenances and the service myself. I'll make way more money. I'll just keep it low key like when I first started the business. And that is exactly what I did. Now, the owner was very understanding and very nice and understood, and I thanked him for the opportunity. And that's that video where I said it's a very important day. We went down for interviews that day, my daughter and I. And my daughter still works there. So we made a deal. She's still the CSR there, one of many. And she's enjoying it. It is high stress environment compared to working for mom and dad. But they kept Dayla on board. That's good. She's got a full-time job, a lot of friends, a lot of people there. Working for mom and dad's not the same, if you know what I mean. But I went back on my own. And now it's just me and this Cybertruck, which I thought I was going to sell the Cybertruck for a Model Y because I thought I was closing the business and I didn't want to deal with any more headaches with this if it goes out of warranty. And after I went back to work for myself, I was driving my white GMC 6.0 liter gas truck, 3500 HD. My God, at the end of the day, your neck hurts, your brain hurts, your back hurts, your hips hurts, your kidney hurts. You just want to drive this truck off a cliff after you've driven a Cybertruck. I never realized all the back problems I was having when I was driving trucks in the past. It's because they're so rough. This thing is like a Cadillac, man. And it doesn't hurt my back. It actually straightens my back. It's comfortable. And because of that alone, I wanted this truck back. Just because of my health and my comfort. So here it is. and I got it fixed. It's back. It's running better than ever. Some of the people want to hate on it, and I don't care. Hey, check it out. It's got a trash bag hanging off of the dumpster. Come on, whatever. So what if it looks like a dumpster in the back? Okay, that's all you can come up with? Come on, boys. You don't know what you're missing with this thing, dude. I absolutely love the Cybertruck. It is my favorite all-time vehicle. I would be sad to lose it again. Very, very sad. So, good news is, kept the truck, parked that darn combustion truck. Check this out, it was costing me, I was filling that tank twice a week, $250 in gas a week. Okay, this equates to about $50 a week, if that. Let's just say 50 on the worst case. I'm charging for 6 cents a kilowatt at night. I'm saving about $800 a month just in fuel. So please comment below. I love reading all the comments. I answer them. I would love to get involved in any conversations you all have. I really enjoy all you guys, and thank you for coming along and watching my videos. We'll see you on the next one.